There was a study done last year to evaluate how many hours are spent in the entire world by different cultures and how long they take to study. The World Culture Score Index, in the top 30 countries, Kenya was not there. At the top was India, which had done 10 hours a week worth of study. At number 29 was Korea, which had done 3 hours worth of study per week. Now, if number 29 rather, is 3 hours a week, Kenya did not even feature in the top 30. We then conclude that we have less than 1 hour of Kenyan study. Now, this is an interesting phenomenon because if we were to compare ourselves with Korea, in 1963, the average rate of literacy in this country was 20%. Today, we sit at a comfortable 81.54% of the country is literate. They're able to read. Now, why these two statistics are interesting is whereas we have a population that can read, we also have an equal population that won't read. And this is my definition of reading. Reading encompasses investing a significant amount of time to study a text that is beyond social media. If the measurement here today is whether Kenyans spend time on social media or not, to quote a journalist who covered Kenyan media consumption, then Kenyans are the most avid of readers. Indeed, Kenyans on Twitter are the giants of Africa. They can take over Nigeria, 200 million strong people, but 5 million Kenyans can give them a run for their money. But pray tell me, what are the arguments that are then concluded? Kenyan girls are hotter than Nigerian girls. Kenyan cops are hotter than Nigerian cops. Or Kenyans play better football. Of what content and value do we bring to the world when all we can argue about is how pretty, tall, and smart we are? It makes no sense. The objective of reading is to move culture forward, is to bring arguments, thoughts, and ideas that the next generation can latch onto and build something that matters. Let me give you an example. There was a scoff at my thought of saying that newspapers were read by our fathers. That reading of the newspaper led to the downfall of the Kanu regime. It later led to the promulgation of a new constitution. Why? Because the people who read made it matter. But today, because we do not read, the most famous of us are the best dancers on TikTok. Is that the culture we want? The most famous of us are the ones who can give up and give out comedy upon comedy every day. In fact, the other day there was a hunt for a dog that is known as Lil Dog or something that was based on a dog that can rap. Is that the reading culture we need? Today in Kenya, my friend here is a writer. I am a writer. There are 20 million adults in this country. There is not a book that has sold out more than 100,000 copies in the last 20 years. No one can claim to have sold 100,000 books to 20 million Kenyans. The only books that are sold en masse in this country are set books. And why are they sold en masse? Because they are compulsory for reading. If you have a conversation with a middle-aged Kenyan, they will quote The River and the Source. Why? It is the last book they read in Form 4. The only reason Kenyans study even to go do their masters is simple: the promotion. And many a time, they even cheat in those particular examinations and documentations that they receive. So do we have a reading culture? I beg you, we do not. But is there a remnant? Yes, there is. I will tell you, like Elijah was told by God, 7,000 who've not bowed their knee to no reading. But let me ask a question: 7,000 versus 20 million ignorant, non-reading, Twitter-following, TikTok-dancing people. Does that constitute a reading culture in this country? I beg you, it does not.